Hey everyone, it's Lee here. So in this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you the process or the results that I'm getting or problems that I'm having with my CPU cooling fan. So probably about 6 months ago, I swapped my stock CPU cooling and fan for a Zalman CNPS10X Optima, and that actually works really well. The heatsink is awesome, and it took the actual CPU temperature down by about 30 degrees. Since that time, I've overclocked the actual processor, and it's basically putting out a lot more heat. So with that particular fan and heatsink, the Zalman one, it still runs pretty cool, much cooler than the stock heatsink. When I have it overclocked, it runs up to about 70 degrees with an ambient room temperature of about 24 degrees. It's actually quite warm in here. But just to sort of show with you, the problems that I'm getting is I don't know whether it's a problem with the actual fan. I don't know whether my one's defective. But at very high RPMs, the fan, it goes above just like a whirring kind of noise, and it makes it's like a chattering noise. So I'll try and share that with you now. So I'm just going to put some load on the actual processor. You probably can't hear it. That's kind of like standard noise. There's not very much noise at the moment. Let's see if I can get it Oh, here it goes. So let me just pick up the microphone and I'll just move it. So you've got the standard whirring kind of noise, but then I've got this. It's like it's unbalanced or something like that, chattering. So that's basically the problem that I've got, and so now I'm going to basically show you the solution of what I've done about it and hopefully the results that I'm getting. So at the moment it's like a lot of load on the machine, and the CPU temperature is at 75 degrees, so a little bit warmer than normal. Okay, so just continuing on, let's talk about solutions. So the obvious solution for the chattering noise that's coming from the actual fan is to either reduce the speed of the fan or to replace it. So I've gone through the actual BIOS settings and tried to reduce the speed of the fan, but even when you set it on super quiet modes and silent modes, the fan eventually sort of increases and you still get to that same sort of problem. So that's kind of not an option. The other option was to add in like a variable controller unit in between the fan and the motherboard and just reduce the maximum sort of throughput of the actual power that's going through to the fan. But I didn't do that. So the third option that I come is with just basically going out, purchasing a new fan replacement and fitting a new fan onto the heatsink, and hopefully that will resolve it. So I'll show you the fan that I got. Now, just before I show you the fan that I wanted, or an ideal fan for a heatsink, is a high static pressure fan. That's going to get you more basically, not only a higher volume of air, but it's better for enclosed spaces. They didn't actually have the one that I wanted, so I've actually gone for this one, which is a Corsair AF120, and it's the Quiet Edition. So I'll just show you. So it's a 120mm fan, same as the one that I've already got fitted. But this one, it's got the airflow at 12 volts is 39.88, and I think it's measured in CFM, which I think is cubic meters, or I presume that's what it is. If it's not, then go ahead and correct me. But yes, it's 39.88 CFM. The actual speed of it is 1100 RPM. But the sound level, which is one of the crucial parts that I actually wanted, is 21 decibels. So really that is the main thing that I'm personally looking for, is a nice, really quiet system. With the actual stock heatsink, the process used to regularly run up to like 90 degrees and stuff like that. So I'm not really too concerned about the heat. Obviously, the heat would normally be a concern, but this is like a work and / gaming machine, so I'm not super bothered if it gets a little bit too hot. Just continuing on, the static pressure of this particular fan is 0.5 mm H2O. I don't exactly know how they measure the static pressure, but I know on the the SP120, which is the static pressure version of this fan. I think that running about 2.5, or actually, what was it? No, I think it is about 1.5. So this is like less than half of the static pressure fan. So it's either going to cause issues and it's just not going to work at all, or it's going to be kind of okay. So really, I just want the quietness, and we'll see how it does. So let's go ahead and fit this fan, and we'll see how it performs. Okay, so I've just got the PC out on the desk now, so just so you can sort of see the internals. I'm just recording with a webcam. So this is the actual Zalman CNPS10X Optima heatsink and fan. So like I said, this is a really good heatsink, way better than the stock one. I've got a secondary fan on the back there, 120mm, doesn't do much. Corsair RM850 power supply, and just a regular sort of standard PC setup. It's obviously not super attractive or pretty, it's just a normal working PC. So what I'm going to be doing is just replacing this fan for the replacement one, and we'll see how it compares. So yeah, just to show you the overall thing that we're actually working with. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and removed the original fan. You can sort of see it there. That was the one that was on there, and it's actually, the heatsink is actually a lot more dustier than I first anticipated. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and give that a good thorough cleaning. So I'll continue on shortly once the replacement fan has been fitted. Okay, so we've just given the heatsink a reasonable clean up. We've got rid of most of the dust and the dirt that was in there. I would have actually removed it because it's only held in by like 4 screws, but I don't actually have any thermal paste, so we've just gone in there just with a hoover and paintbrush and just basically got rid of the bulk of the dust. Sorry about the shaky video. I am just recording on a webcam just with it in my hand. So but yeah, that's that cleaning part done. So now we're going to fit the new fan, and then we'll put the system back together and see how we go on from there. Okay, so we've just got the new CPU fan installed. Not too tricky. The only thing is it does have these kind of spring-loaded clip-on type connectors here. The first time getting that fan on it is really quite tricky, but with this replacement fan it was a lot simpler. It's kind of one of those things where you do it the first time, it's complicated, and you do it again and it's pretty straightforward. So that's the new fan on there, so just to show you that. It was quite a smart one actually. Okay, so now we've just got the PC back under the desk and it's all sort of fitted and installed, so I'm just going to try and fire it up for the first time and we'll see how it does. Okay, so just continuing on, install the PC back under the desk, put the case side back onto the machine. Then I've just been running it for about 10 or 15 minutes, just playing a game, World of Tanks, a popular game, you should check it out. But back onto the topic, the machine is running really nicely. So I've noticed that the CPU temperatures, I just put some load onto the machine, the CPU temperatures are slightly warmer. It's running up to about 78, 79 degrees. The room temperature is still about the same, so it's still quite warm in here. But yeah, the actual noise, I'll just pick up the mic, sorry if it bangs around, and I'm just going to put that right down by the side of the machine. So that's the results that I'm getting now. So I'm actually really pleased. I know it wasn't actually the perfect and most ideal situation in terms of fan replacements. Probably a static fan would have been better overall and certainly would have helped to reduce the noise but also increase the airflow, and you would have got a double whammy sort of a combination, which is obviously what you want. You want the the best you can get. But in this particular case, it didn't really work out exactly as planned, but the end result is kind of what I wanted. So I've got temperatures which are not very much different to the way they was before, but most importantly, I don't have that daft buzzing, ringing noise coming from the old fan, which I've actually got hanging around here somewhere. So this is the old fan off the Zalman Heatsink, which is actually a really good heatsink. But yeah, this fan, I don't know, it doesn't seem unbalanced or anything like that. But so I don't know whether this is just a defective one or just at really high RPMs they just don't work that well. So yeah, I wouldn't really criticise Zalman too much, but the replacement fan is working perfectly. So it's about as hot as it's ever going to get, I think. And yeah, it seems to be doing the job well. So I'm quite pleased overall. So I just wanted to share that overall experience with you guys. And if you've got any feedback or comments, please share those. And yeah, it'll be great to discuss it with you. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm going to wrap it up here.